All right, y'all, we got the shrimp. Y'all, I'm feeling this music tonight. I'm gonna turn it down in a second, but I'm really feeling this music. So at the Little People's Market, we got lemon. I want y'all to look at how pretty this lemon is. Can you see that? Beautiful lemon. I thought this was a gorgeous lemon. Okay. Got some green onion, y'all. Scallion. If you're real fancy, you can call it scallion, but it's just a green onion, sweetheart. And then I saw these fancy garlics, y'all. Look at that. This is called heirloom garlic. I guess this is the way garlic is supposed to taste, y'all. It hadn't been bred. It hadn't been pumped up. So this is real old school garlic, like your mama used to use when you were a kid, y'all. This is one of my little tricks to a good cheese grit, y'all. Especially when you're making like cheese grits with shrimp and some sausage. Philadelphia cream cheese with a little bit of chive in it. Chive cream cheese. I'll show you how that plays in a second, y'all. Then, of course, you know, I needed butter, and you know I'm a sucker for good packaging, baby.
That's true.
This is called, and it said President.
Wow.
President butter, and it's from France, y'all. France.
Oh,
I like a fancy butter, okay? And then now I am a believer in in the South we call it hunk cheese, y'all. I don't know, or hoop cheese maybe.
There's some hoop cheese.
Hoop cheese is what people call it, but we call it hunk cheese. So like when we wanted a grilled cheese sandwich when we were kids, we'd be like, "Mama, please make us a hunk cheese grilled cheese." That's this right here because you can get that stuff shredded up in a package. And I understand if you got the arthritis or the fibromyalgia or whatever, and you can't be like grating cheese. I understand getting the stuff in the package, but really, if you can, get the stuff that's in the block because there's just something about cutting it off of the block, y'all. I'm telling you, okay? Then, grits. Now, in the South here, and these are really good. House Autry is really good for everything. I don't get nothing from no House Autry. This is the House of Porter here. But tonight, the House Autry is going to help me with my grits because I'm not going to stone ground those little things out back. So, you know, I'm going to get them in the package. So, you know, you might have to go into Amazon because, you know, you Yankees probably don't have any grits, y'all. I mean, really, if you walk like this, you probably can't find a grit anywhere in your damn grocery store. You can probably find a polenta, but no grits. Okay? In the South, it's grits. So up north, it's probably called polenta. Or they'll call it, I got those bananas in my teeth. It's kind of like foamy.
It's very disorienting, I know.
It's like it keeps expanding while it's in my teeth, and I feel like, you know, somebody just found me in a shopping cart next to a building.
Am I supposed to be saving some of this water Dunchier wine for you? I just need.
I mean, can I have a sip?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
Y'all, we always fighting over a drink, because she doesn't have a drink, and she always drinks all mine behind it on the other side there.
It's true, I do get thirsty.
So, I just inhaled a little mini ice cube.
So are you done with this? Or?
Done with what? This is, no, the grits aren't done yet. You have to cook them.
Oh.
So these are the grits, y'all. I like House Autry. You can get you some Oscar Mayer, Quaker, Pillsbury, whatever. Wickapoodle. You can find you a little somebody that provides grits. And then last but not least, I went to the North Carolina Farmers Market today, and look. This is made and packaged from North Carolina pigs, y'all. So anyway, y'all, this is like, I'm telling you, there's something about North Carolina pork products, y'all. They are so good. The food, that's probably why the food just tastes good in North Carolina, I think, because we got a lot of good pork products.
We do have a lot of good pork products.
So I was going to get some chorizo sausage, which is a really kind of like a really spicy, kind of like southwestern-y, what is the word? Spanish kind of sausage, Spanish flavors.
Like a Tex-Mex?
Yeah, kind of. I don't know, whatever.
Spicy.
You know, it tastes like it's from an El Paso taco package, basically. But I didn't even think to ask her if they had andouille sausage, because that is traditionally, and if you're from New Orleans, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not going to listen to you anyway, because this is what's the truth in my head. And it's that this is the sausage that you use with shrimp and grits when you go to New Orleans, okay? It's that smoked andouille, A-N-D-O-U-I. It looks like, well, andouille.
Wasn't that convenient?
Okay, and that's special. All right, so oh man, I didn't get the my measuring cup. I'm gonna have to fish that thing out.
So what are you making tonight?
So I am making cheese grits. Well, I'm making shrimp and grits, but the base of it is gonna be a good cheddar cheese grit, y'all. And actually, you asked me who I'm gonna dedicate this to this week. I'm gonna dedicate this to Stephanie, because she is the one that actually got me to. Is she here?
Stephanie Lee Rose.
Yes,
She's
her ass better be here.
Yep, she got them shrimps everywhere.
Are you working? Are you be able to pay attention? Or are you at home? What you doing?
She'll say in a second, I'm sure.
All right, so she's the one that's like, how about I've never been able to make cheese grits, and she's a Yankee.
It's all right, girl.
And she don't know anything about grits, not even polenta. She'd heard of polenta when I said that, but she still had not even had that.
She's
and
working, by the way.
Okay, so you'll be in and out, honey, but you know I'll put it on the YouTubes and everything. But so I'm gonna dedicate this because I was gonna do it last week, and Teresa had some appointments run over, and she couldn't do the camera. So Stephanie didn't get her shrimp and grits last week, so she's waited 2 weeks, so she gets special thanks tonight. It's dedicated to Stephanie. Ow! All right. So here's your grits, y'all. I'm gonna go, and basically you just get everything going for the grits. I start with the grits, and then I'm gonna move on to the meat things. It's gonna seem slow going at first, but it's one of those dishes that's gonna come together like boom, 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 and it's done, okay? So, Teresa.
Yes.
Why don't you talk to them for a moment and say hello while I fish out the measuring cup.
Okay. I'll turn it on my face. Can you hear me, my root beer?
You want your root beer?
Yes.
Oh yeah, show them the drink of the evening.
Hello, everyone.
This is
I
the
will
drink.
be introducing you to the drink of the
Oh
evening.
Lord, where's my measuring cup?
First, I'll introduce you to my ratchet ponytail of the evening. Cheers. So the drink of the evening, y'all, is a nice Boylan Bottling Company
Oh wait, yeah, I found my
root
drawer. I'm gonna
beer.
watch this.
Oh, this is delicious.
Is
It's
it
made
good?
with pure cane sugar, and it just tastes like candy.
Oh man.
Like melted root beer candy with figs.
I thought that too. I thought it tasted real candy-like.
Hey y'all, it's Constance here.
Is Constance here?
I thought I saw she was here. Of course she's probably here.
People been holding her up all weekend.
Hey Sandy.
Actually, I forget. It's oh shit! I just got water all over the
Oh, we
place.
got water everywhere.
I'm trying to wash out this jar, y'all.
Listen, Justin is so excited he's gonna go see Constance.
Oh,
He
y'all,
can
I'm going to
handle
Detroit. Well, I'm
it.
flying into Detroit. She lives like an hour from Detroit.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just
Yeah.
had to take it. Hey y'all, what am I drinking? Stephanie asked. Stephanie, for those that were not here, I am drinking a nice Boylan Bottling Company root beer, and it is delicious. Somebody, it just never feels like enough drink though. Like you need it.
It's really good though. I got mine in the freezer. I'm about to take it out and drink it.
Sorry, I got a burp. That was rude.
Ew.
Milt said hello.
Milton Aaron. Hey, Milt. Okay.
Back on Justin. Hey, Pua.
Hold on.
No. Pua only wants to see me now. It's not on you. It's all on me.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Wait, it's gonna be.
Let me know when it's back on me.
It's back on you.
Anyway, so we got grits, y'all. We're about to start these grits. You're zoning out, baby, on the food.
You were so cute.
Listen, we got to get these grits going. These people aren't here to see me and my cute shirt. They're here to see these
well.
grits, okay? All right, so I do the grits according to package directions. So look, how are these? Can you read these, y'all? You're gonna bring
You're gonna make that whole bag. Do you make the whole bag worth?
that right there.
Yeah.
So well, no, I'm gonna bring 4 cups of water. I'm gonna do what it says. I'm gonna do the whole bag. Yeah, why not? Like we're gonna, you know how we are.
I'll eat those grits in the morning.
I'm
I'll
like,
eat
the
those
devil's a
grits
liar,
tonight.
honey. You are
That's
just
a
fooling
lie.
yourself. All right, bring 4 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of salt to boil. Slowly stir in 1 cup of grits and cook covered on low to medium-low heat, stirring often for 12 to 15 minutes. That stirring often is going to be key, but I'm going to show you how to add these grits to make sure that you don't F them up, okay, y'all?
Wow.
So we're going to start with 8 cups of water. So, Teresa, you can put the camera back on you. It's going to be a minute for me to fill this
Okay,
up.
back on wall.
Because I'm using this old mason jar as a measuring cup.
Hello. Back on me. What are y'all doing tonight besides watching our crazy asses? Is anybody doing anything this weekend? Anything exciting? Let me tell you what I'm not doing. Working.
Oh, tell them
Y'all,
about our
this
week.
root beer makes me feel sassy.
Tell them about our, you want to tell them about our War of the Roses drag out this week that we worked out?
I was a little bit of an asshole.
Oh boy, y'all. She showed her ass all over the house.
I did. It was not very nice. It was probably the meanest I've
People
ever
probably
been.
relate to the reason why. You were just stressed.
I was stressed and I popped off, and as Constance says, I was a powder keg. And unfortunately, Justin had the perfect match. Boom! There it went. But that's okay. I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to take a breather this weekend.
Y'all, why do you think she's sending me up to see Constance? That's why she's sending me up there.
I'm sending Justin to go see Constance so he gets some adult time and I get some baby time. Because I need some time with that baby, just me and her. My mama's out there understands sometimes you just need time with your baby. I don't get enough time. It makes me feel a little crazy. What do? I am hormones. Yes, hormones also. But don't start no rumors. Because I'm not pregnant.
Yeah.
Despite what Constance would like. As she has made very clear.
Is she here?
Yes, she's here. Of course she is.
Hey, boo.
Yes, but my hormones were going crazy.
Hey,
I'm
did
a
she like
photographer.
Constance like my video today? I hadn't really. I've just kind
Constance,
of
did you like Justin's video today?
breezed through comments today.
Pooh.
Pooh is getting what? Pooh needs
Pooh
more
said
attention.
it's time for a new baby. Pooh,
Okay.
you gonna come over here and carry it?
Yeah. Well, at least you know you get a C-section this time. I mean, we can basically schedule the shit. They had us waiting in the hospital like. I really
That was
think.
the worst part of it.
I think that it's because we entertained them. I really do. They were thoroughly entertained by us, and I think they didn't let us go for because they were bored.
That's true.
Because they
I
would
had to
come
go to
in.
the hospital like before we had her like.
So
day after
put it on-
Christmas,
yeah,
right?
keep telling them the story, but let me show them what I'm
I
doing
had to go
here,
to the
y'all.
hospital the day after Christmas. Bye, y'all.
So I've got keep telling the story.
No, I want to hear what.
All right,
it's
so
a cooking
basically-
show, not a birth control show.
Yeah, to be continued on Facebook. Okay, message her if you want to hear the rest. All right, so this is just 8 cups of water right here, and you can use like a saucepan, a smaller one if you're making less grits. But you know, I'm making a hearty portion because you know there ain't nothing wrong with eating leftover grits in the morning. Okay, all right. All right, and so then we're gonna do. Bring that to a boil, just like it says. Bring it to a boil, and I'm real. I don't trust my mind sometimes, y'all. So that's the truth. And I have to read directions like probably 15 times, even though it'll be like very basic. And I'm like, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm gonna mess it
Well, you
up.
weren't like Mr. Reading Comprehension.
No, I've actually. I mean, should I tell the truth? Yes, I've actually never read a book.
You've read a book.
You want me to lie?
Oh, I'm sure you read at least one for school or something. No?
I was one of those absorption kids. I
Oh,
listened to
you
everything
read the
in
back
class.
and made it up with the
I
sales.
listened to everything. We need to wash our. We got no utensils left. I would just kind of sit in the back and I'd listen and kind of bullshit my way through
Stephanie
it.
says she is watching this like a hawk. That's why she's quiet, because she's trying to learn some stuff.
That's fine, honey. You go right ahead. Watch it like a hawk. So I've just got my stuff in the jar and I'm just getting it to a boil. And so what I'm gonna do is go ahead now. They don't tell you to do this, but you know, this is what I do. When I'm making cheese grits, I really think it's important. You know, of course, you have to have your salt and your pepper, but you have to have just a touch. Now, this is the thing. Normally, I'm a little heavy-handed with garlic, y'all. But for this, you don't want too much garlic. You want just like, what's wrong?
You know who's here?
Who's here?
Amelia!
Hey, Amelia! I love Amelia. I hadn't seen her since you were sitting in my living room right before you moved up to be a Yankee.
All right. But
Oh, she's right up there by Stephanie. She's in, Stephanie's in Massachusetts.
So maybe they're all in the same region. Okay, back on
You
track.
know
Hi, girl.
Southerners. You know Southerners.
We
You live in a state, and people from the South just be like, oh, I have a friend in North Dakota.
right.
Do you know her?
Stick the whole state.
Right? So, all right. So this is about how much I do. Like, I would normally put this in my hand, but I don't want my hand to smell like butt and garlic the rest of the night. So that's well,
That's just a dusting.
that's just a tiny dust. I'd say that's like an eighth of a teaspoon. That's just a tiny bit, y'all. That woo!
And you put it right in the water?
Right into the water, because this is all going into the grit, honey. All of it.
Ooh, Pooh wants to know if grits is like cream of wheat.
No, absolutely not. Grits is just is corn when it's really, really dry. You know, like that dried corn that you can get for decoration. Well, if you pop them bitches off the cob and ground them all up, then you got grits. Look at it real close. Let me show you grits. Can you see my hand?
Yeah, that's good. Just keep it still as you can.
All right, do you see that? If you look at it real close, it's just ground up corn, y'all. You see it? Isn't it beautiful? You can actually see the little bits of corn. It looks like mini popcorn kernels. Isn't that beautiful? You see? And you can't overhandle grits. In fact, the more you handle them, the better, because one of the reasons people don't like grits is because they get really lumpy. So when we're stirring these grits in, and you'll see the water will be ready here shortly. I like to go ahead and stir a little bit of butter into the water. I just think that it keeps all of the grits separate and adds a little extra bit of creaminess to it. And then I'm going to kind of cut the grit with a couple other things. The grit.
Hominy.
The hominy. Yeah, it's the same thing as hominy. Like hominy though is like a heavy stone ground grit. Like hominy was like, the grit would be like the grain of it would be like 4 times bigger. That's what hominy is.
There you go.
And then grits was just like, you know, it was ground down finer. But yeah, same thing, y'all. Hominy!
Wait, put what's in it? Do you add like sugar and butter to it?
It depends.
Not sugar. You
No,
can add
that's
sugar to
absolutely,
grits.
honey. That is regional. And honey, and in North Carolina, all right, let me tell you, growing up, my African American friends always added sugar and butter to their rice and grits, and we always
Really?
added butter and milk to our rice and grits. So it was so strange. They always that
I've never
it was,
heard of the sugar
and my friend
thing.
Bernardo taught me that.
Huh. Well, there you go. There's my lesson and not being.
But yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like, it makes it almost like kind of, I guess like a rice pudding a little bit.
Okay.
But for this particular version of grits, don't put no sugar in here, honey. This shit's gonna be nasty. Seriously, do not put no sugar in these grits, okay? You follow them the way I'm doing
This
them.
needs to be like a down home.
So, you see this butter? That's about 2 pats of butter. You know, just 2 pats.
Yeah.
Pat. Ooh, I love cheese grits. Alright, hold on. Bloop. Alright, so let's go ahead and put a little pepper.
So why do you put stuff in the water? It's not like it gets on the food that
Well,
way.
you've ever had a glass of water?
Yes.
What's it taste like?
It's been a while.
What's it taste like?
Nothing.
Bingo.
Why do you make it seem so obvious?
You asked me a question, and that's how I answer questions. You want me to answer it a different way?
No.
Well, my dear, you understand that the water has no flavor, so you want to add a few things in it so it doesn't taste like blah. Okay, look.
Hey, Kathy.
So right now, I'm not doing anything fancy other than seasoning this damn water, and what I'm doing is seasoning the water to the way I want the grits to taste. So I'm just
Like
going to
it
stir
bakes
this in
in
here. Yeah, it's because this is what the grits are going to taste like. Well, the base. Now that's just, that's actually good. I mean, just stick your finger right there on the spoon. Tell me that doesn't have just enough subtle flavor.
It actually does.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's just that little touch of garlic and a little bit of butter kind of melting in. So
But
now,
it's not so much. So it tastes like I just licked
all right,
the
here
garlic.
comes 15th time. I got to read the damn package, y'all. So now, slowly stir in 1 cup of grits, and then low to medium heat. You're gonna stir often for 12 to 15 minutes. So, if you've ever made like a risotto or anything like that, y'all, this is very similar to a risotto. The more you stir it, the creamier it's going to get. It's going to break up the starches of the corn, and it's going to actually get creamier. And so you see what I'm doing? As it's boiling, y'all, I'm not just dumping it in there like I don't give a damn.
Shaking it.
You
It's
see
like
what I'm
a
doing?
distribution of
I'm letting the boiling water kind of stir it up and keep it going.
I'm gonna see if I can get any.
All right, and then just go in and make sure it's not clumping. Just keep it boiling, and then once you get all of it in there, we're going to lower the heat just a hair. But it shouldn't boil over on you because you're continuing to add cold grits into this hot water. So, you know, when it starts to boil too much, you add in, you know, more grits. Just make sure that it's not clumping up on you, because it will, you know, as it kind of gets to the end of your quantity, it will kind of try to clump up on you. See how it got hot again, but I'm adding these cold grits back in? Not letting any kind of overlap or anything like that. You see?
Yeah.
And just
You
take
say
your
shake
time.
it and stir it. Why do you have to go so slow though?
Because if you do, you'll dump it in there, and it'll be like almost like a dumpling. It'll go in there in a lump, and
It won't
immediately
break
you'll try
apart.
to cook together. And so then as soon as you break it apart, it's like its outer shell has already started to form, and that's your lumps.
Oh.
You see? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does
Okay.
actually.
All right, so now I'm going to do it to a medium low. So I'm going to put it down to like a 5, y'all. And then from here on, I'm just going to keep stirring them.
It smells good, and I didn't think it would even smell like anything.
Yeah, you just have to put a little butter and garlic, salt and pepper. And then watch the kind of, can you get, well, you can't get much closer. The camera freaks out if you get it too hot. But I wish you could see the, it's almost like a creamy.
See if you can like lift some out and dip it back in.
What? You see? Can you see the corn is already in there and it's already starting to swell up a little?
Yeah.
But if you look at it, it's just kind of like a hot spring. If you've ever seen a video of a hot spring, it's just a nice, beautiful, creamy kind of bubbling, you see? And so what I want to do is, at no point do I ever really want it to sit still for that long. Just maybe a few seconds, you know, maybe 15, 20 seconds. But I'm going to keep stirring it. And how long did it say to take these grits? Because has anyone asked if they can use quick grits? The answer is no. In case you asked.
Nobody has asked.
Okay. Y'all, quick grits are against my religion. If you're actually cooking a meal, like shrimp and grits, there is no point in having all these nice ingredients like shrimp and sausage and then go and muck it up with some quick grits that somebody else has already taken the time to cook. If you're taking the time to eat somebody's family that's been swimming around in the ocean, then you should make you some real grits, okay?
Did you turn it down because the bubbles look different?
They did. Well, the grits are starting to swell up, so now you're getting more kind of a porridge consistency.
Yeah.
So you'll see. Won't take long. You just want kind of like a low boil. That's all it's trouble. Now, with the grits, as they start to thicken up, you're gonna want kind of like the consistency of like hot quicksand. You know what I mean?
Does it come together more when it cools off?
Absolutely. When it cools off. In
Okay.
fact, if you added a lot less water, when it cools off, you can actually make bricks out of it and slice it and fry it, pan fry it, and make it's like a hash brown. And that's a lot of times how people eat their polenta. They'll actually put it into a roll and then slice it, and it's yellow, and then they'll sear it on both sides. So it doesn't even look like grits, but that's actually what it is. Okay, so y'all, I'm actually another ingredient that I have for my grits. This is one of my secret weapons, y'all. Is as it starts to come together, you can't
see what he said with our secret weapon. He just done cut himself. Oh!
Listen. I'm holding it up next to my man boobs for a reason. This is a public service announcement. If you eat grits like this, then you're going to be able to have some man
tits
boobs.
Like this.
Tits like this. You eat grits like this, you're going to get tits like this. Okay? All right? So look.
It's like the holy trinity of Southern cooking.
So that right there is just one that I didn't like the way he looked at me earlier, so I'm dropping him in there. Now this is the one I meant to put in there.
Oh.
Okay?
And his friend talks fast. Hey, Chad is here.
So I'm going to go ahead, and the reason I'm doing all this right now is because once the grits are done, I'm going to put that sausage and that shrimp together. Honey, it's going to be done quick.
Look how thick it's getting, because I would have been worried that I made it too watery.
Yes, and then kind of at the end, I'm going to cut it some more with some heavy cream.
Do y'all see this? There's not even any cheese in there yet.
No cheese yet. So I'm going to go ahead and get this bridge burner going.
Y'all see what's come out to play.
All right, my boo.
The pan is out.
All right, let's grease that face up, baby. Grease up that face. Whoop, whoop.
There we go.
No, that ain't enough. That's like a 20-year-old. We need like a 15-year-old face. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, someone's here you'd like to say hi to.
Who?
Chad.
Hey, Pooh. Hey, Chad. Did you just get here?
He did. He had to get here a little late.
He probably had to rush home. He's just getting home from work, I think.
He's a hustler.
Yeah, I think he gets in about 10 minutes after we get started. He's part of the reason I delay a little bit. Because I know he likes to watch from the beginning, live.
Oh my gosh, look how thick. Oh! Can you just like hold up a spoon and like dump it out so they can see how thick it is?
Absolutely. Well, it's going to get thicker. It's going to get even. Right now, you see it's so kind of soup. This is too soupy. Because you want to get really a lot thicker. Because we're going to add the cheese into it. And that's going to kind of, add more kind of goopiness to it. And then don't be afraid to stir it. I don't care if people say don't stir your grits too. Oh, honey, listen to what I'm telling you. You see what my grits look like? Have you seen a lump yet? Nope.
Show how you're doing that spoon though, because I feel like stirring is something that you have to do a certain
Okay,
way.
so the way I stir is I do little mini circles.
Hold your spoon out of the thing so you can see.
Like this. That's all I do. I hold my spoon down at an angle like this, and I do mini circles. So what I'm doing is scooping it and dumping it inside of itself. You see?
Okay.
And that always gets it. And then when you get to the middle, you have to change direction. And that's just my little OCD. Teresa, that is not a spoon technique. People probably need to feel pressure to learn.
No, but
because that's
I feel
years
like
of just
I
my
would've
crazy way of
stirred it all
cooking.
weird.
I'm holding up a knife like I'm about to hurt somebody. All right, so let's get this sausage going, y'all. Oh, look at that.
Oh, beautiful!
Oh, beautiful. For spacious halls.
Oh, Amelia's been sick. She said this is the first thing that looks good to her.
Oh,
To
Amelia.
eat. She about to get on a plane to North Carolina.
Sorry about this portion, Amelia. You can ignore this part. But,
I do think it is the high holy days.
yeah, honey. We'll pretend this is beef, honey. This is kosher beef kielbasa for Amelia. For everybody else, unless you're kosher, you eat kosher as well. This is a smoked andouille sausage, y'all. Look at that.
That looks gorgeous.
All right. So now I'm just making. Can you see how I'm cutting it? So that's all I'm doing, y'all. And this is a real fresh from the darn butcher, y'all. This is straight from the butcher.
Butcher at the farmer's
At the
market.
farmer's market. So these are North Carolina pigs, smoked on North Carolina trees. And now they're going to get North Carolina fried, okay? All right, so that's a little hot for me. So let's go ahead and turn this down to like... And you know, the one thing about this, you can substitute for like bacon. If you have... the one thing is it needs to be a smoky sausage. All right, I'm gonna stir my grits, y'all. My grits, I didn't like the way they were bubbling a little uneven. They should be more even. Sometimes you have to stir it if the darn convection of your stove ain't right, okay?
Look at this.
All right.
Ow!
You getting popped? Don't be a wuss.
I'm in the splash zone.
Honey, people have been killed for the faith. Don't worry about a little oil splash, okay? You'll be fine, I promise. All right. It'll stop in a second, the splashing. Is it really that bad?
Woo.
And I'm doing this about the size of about half of the shrimp. Because I just want it to be like, when you stab your shrimp, I want like 2 or 3 pieces of these little sausage to
Feels like the fair.
get in there, y'all. And this sausage is really, if you can get an andouille or andouille, however the hell you say it, where you're from, honey. Whether you're a snob or not, I don't know. But whatever this is, the andouille sausage, if you can get the smoked sausage, really, this is going to give you a really nice, deep kind of like restaurant taste to the shrimp and grits, y'all. And you can use kielbasa, you can use, you know, whatever you want. But this is what I'm going to use.
Y'all, this smells like when you are in the parking lot at the fair and you're just walking in, you get your first
See, that's the good thing about these sausages that are like
good.
fresh. They cook so much faster, y'all.
Leilani is impressed by your Creole sausage.
Oh, she likes it. She knows. She understands. All right, so
Oh
you
my
see?
gosh, look how beautiful that is.
That's it. So what I'm going to do now... Oh, that spoon is so rickety. Oh, no, that's nasty. Next. Okay, we use... Oh, I know what I'm going to use. Shoot. My boo over here. What's this called again?
Uwu.
There you go. So once this gets a nice brown to it, y'all, I'm going to throw in the shrimp, and I'm going to cook the shrimp just until they're pink, y'all. And the good thing I love about this is stirring, so I can go in there and, like, if I see something I want cut up, I can cut them up, y'all.
Let's show what your grits look like.
All right, let's go about my grits. Let's give them a good stir. You see how they're getting thick now? We got 5 minutes left until they're cooked all the way through. So now, at 5 minutes left, I'm going to go ahead and hit them with a little heavy cream. And you want to do it with only a few minutes left because the cream can kind of separate if you cook it for too long. So make sure you just kind of add it towards the end, okay? So.
Anna, always telling you about you gonna dull your blades.
Huh?
When you mess with your ulu in there.
Well, tell Anna to worry about her own blade. No, I tell her I appreciate that, but it's okay. I just go outside and drag it across the sidewalk whenever I need it sharpened. That works, right, Anna?
Look at that, sounds just like swirl.
Clouds in my grits, clouds in my... You see how it just got real nice and creamy?
Gosh,
All right, so now,
good.
y'all, I'm going to go in. I'm going to go ahead and get into my cheese, y'all.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm going to get in my cheese.
So you can get out your cheese grater, whatever, but this is a nice kind of you know, that Cabot cheese. It's that good cheese. Let me show you how good it is. This is how you know a good cheese. Like, if you see how it kind of breaks and you get all those air bubbles and pockets, you don't really have to slice it. Isn't that great? Isn't that beautiful? Honey, put it in there. And it's okay, put you in some chunks.
Does it matter the size?
Well, I mean, you don't want to put, you know, cut it in half and drop the block in there and pray to Jesus it's going to melt in time. But, you know, go ahead and just cut it into some slices, about what you would put on like a grilled cheese sandwich to melt.
Okay.
All right.
So is that like that's a sharp cheese?
Yeah, this is this is called Cabot Seriously Sharp. And I think the sharper the cheese, the better, because you're competing with some heavy flavors.
I'm gonna need to taste a bite.
Of the cheese? Absolutely.
Just to make sure, you know, quality.
I should probably taste a little bit too.
That's good. Ooh.
That is sharp. That is.
That's good cheese.
That's got like a good after. That's got like an after hello. Okay.
Now you just mix that cheese in.
Mix it in there.
God.
Don't be afraid, y'all. And then I'm gonna go ahead. While that's resting in there, I'm gonna get out my Philly cream cheese with chives, y'all. Yeah, I need to stir that. Where's my knife? Look, now it's all brown. You see that? Beautiful. That's about right. You want it about the consistency of crispy bacon, okay, y'all? So I'm gonna go ahead. Let me rinse these off real quick. Or scallions, whatever you want to call it. Y'all follow me? This is pretty simple,
Yeah,
right?
everybody's following it.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and chop up some green onions, y'all. Isn't that nice?
Nice.
And I like to scuff up a green onion, y'all, because the more you scuff it up, it's like cutting the grass, you know? That's enough for me. Isn't that pretty?
Good. So you really want to finely dice it?
Whatever you want. You know, most people will cut them into little tubes, but I like to just kind of make it real kind of, what's the word? Kind of rustic.
Okay.
I think it adds a really nice flavor when you do it that way. All right, so you see I got a minute left. So now anything else I do to my grits is only flavor, honey, because these grits are done. Do you see that?
Can you give a quick synopsis of everything that went into the grits?
Absolutely. After I need to focus on this for 1 second, so I'm about to throw these shrimp in here.
Sandy, I'm going to get you that synopsis, girl. Hold on.
Okay. So, here. I'm going to go ahead and season up the shrimp just a little bit. You don't have to add too much seasoning. They've actually been in here straining, y'all.
That's salt?
That's a little salt. And you don't need too much seasoning on this because you're putting it in there with the sausage and the rendered fat, y'all. I'm not draining this, honey. You know, right to my doctor. I appreciate it, but mind your business. This is how I'm cooking it, okay? All right. I got that. I'm going to rinse my hands. I really don't trust raw seafood.
Good idea.
Especially fresh seafood. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and raise this up back to kind of like a saute, like a 5 to 6.
The sausage?
Yeah, the sausage. And then I'm going to dump in the shrimp.
This is some North Carolina shrimp right here.
Yes, it is, honey.
Some Wilmington.
Now, what I'm going to take, watch I'm doing this lemon. I'm sure a lot of y'all know this already. See this lemon? I'm going to take and roll this lemon. You see here? You do that? Just kind of put your weight into it, y'all. And roll it. And now it's nice and mushy. You see? I've got all that lemon juice in there. And I'm going to use that when I squeeze it here into the end. And then I'm going to get this garlic ready. I'm going to add this garlic too. The garlic, again, is kind of like the cream. You know, just like with cream, it'll separate and turn kind of gross. Well, garlic will brown really, really fast. So you don't have to use the garlic right away. So I'm just going to use about 3 cloves of garlic, y'all. Not too much, just enough to kind of, you know, say hello to you. And fresh garlic does add a different kind of element of flavor, y'all. Actually, I need to add, I have a bigger knife. Banging on the garlic, y'all. And I'm going to put it here in my garlic press.
like
You
this
know the
song
song?
too. Yeah.
Does anybody eat raw garlic? I had a friend that I used to work with that used to go to the Italian restaurant for lunch, and he asked for a plate of raw garlic with olive oil. Are you okay? Am I burning you still?
No, I got popped a couple times. We'll be all right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stir this in. Let's give this a good stir.
This here?
Yeah, get my really nice. So basically, you see that shrimp, y'all? So we'll get this in here until the shrimp turns all the way pink. So you see, I'm stirring in. Now you see, it's already starting to turn pink, y'all. Go ahead and add in your garlic. Just 2 or 3 cloves. Not too much. It's just enough to kind of give it a little essence. Just enough.
It's like, seriously, that looks like heaven.
All right, you see that? So you see it's starting to turn pink. So now what I'm going to do is add in these scallions. Because these scallions will cook down to like a gross kind of mushy kind of stuff, kind of consistency.
I mean, you can eat just that.
You sure could. So I'm going to let this saute a little bit together until everything is pink, and then I'm going to squeeze in some lemon juice. And we're going to eat it over these damn cheese grits that we're going to finish up over here, all right?
Oh my God.
All right, watch this, y'all. So these cheese grits.
You're right, it's about to come together real fast.
All right, now I'm going to do my little spoon technique. You see, watch, all those little pockets of cheese are now starting to melt in there. Not a lump in sight, baby. Now, Philadelphia cream cheese with chives, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just going to take a big old wad of it, okay? Don't be scared. Whatever, this will work. We want them to be nice and creamy, so we're going to do about that much. And you can do regular cream cheese if you want, but it's got to be cream cheese, okay?
So what's the cream cheese do? It just makes it thicker?
Cream cheese. Adds a nice level of creaminess. And I like the stuff that's in the little container because it tends to melt a little bit better. Now the only lumps you might get at all in this dish is from the darn cream cheese. If you get like the block cream cheese, or like, if you get the government cream cheese, honey. What's wrong? I got stuff on my face?
Yeah.
What, is it bothering people?
No, I just wanted to tell you.
Oh. I was like, oh, is there somebody OCD that's like, his chin, his chin, his chin, his
That's
chin?
me, I'm the OCD.
Oh, it's you? Okay. All right, so y'all, these are all pink, ready for the lemon
Everyone's
juice.
like, okay.
What?
About your food, it looks
Okay,
so good.
so I'm going to take this lemon, and I'm going to do it over my hand because I'm going to catch any seeds. You see that? And just let the water juice fall through my fingers, y'all. You see that? Stuff it back in there. Squeeze it again. Let it all get in there, y'all. Just make a mess, y'all. This is one of the best parts, and this is good for your skin. All this lemon juice, it's like an exfoliation, and I'm not kidding. You can feel like all of the citric acid kind of like sanitizing your skin.
Ooh.
What?
Sounds good.
So I've got the, what I like to do, and I wash these lemons since I got all the seeds out, is I like to just go in and throw that down in there.
Give
Just
it a
for
little extra
flavor. So you see the seeds. And if you want to use a fancy machine, you can, but I feel like God gave me a machine called Fingers, and I hadn't lost a seed yet. You see? Let me get that sticker off of there. Ooh, that one was happy. You see that, y'all?
Dang.
Yeah, he wants to be in there so bad. Go on in there, baby. All right, y'all. Look at that. You see that?
That is so pretty. I'm going to get a close
And
up.
I know there are better ways, y'all, to do that. But that's how I do it.
Ooh.
Now look, this is done, y'all. We're about to plate this up and eat. You hungry, baby?
Yes!
Oh my God, you smell that?
Leilani's going to make it for Rayanne on Labor Day.
Is she watching? Are y'all watching?
Yeah, she's watching. She said she wants it.
Okay, so let me show you how to plate this thing, honey. This thing is right, okay? Look how
Ooh,
that
it smells
sausage.
so
You see that
good.
sausage? Y'all look at that
sausage
sausage.
is
Oh, and it's that nice, I think it's the skin of that sausage, y'all.
Let me show that. Y'all see what's bubbling over here?
Boy, it's all in trouble, baby.
That's a cheese grit.
So y'all give it a good stir. We got that cream cheese. It's been melting in there. And it's probably, you could actually, I think it's more practical to eat this in a bowl, but just for presentation purposes, y'all, I'm going to do this on a plate, just to kind of show you. But I want you to understand how perfect these cheese grits are, and that is from scratch.
And look at that chive, like, and really gave it a little bit of color, so
Yep.
it's a little nicer. Oh, I know that's good. I know it's good. I know it's good.
Now, you can add a little bit more salt. I want a little bit more salt, just because I like a little bit more salt. All right. Because it really is competing with a lot of flavor over here, y'all.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have all this work on these grits, and it's just they kind of get lost. So you want everything. That's why I use the extra sharp cheddar. I add a little bit of extra chive, cream cheese. You know, all these layers of flavor. All right, let me taste it now. Whoop! Oh, you trying to get on my booby?
Woo!
Oh, Jesus! Hold on, Teresa. Hold on.
It's good.
My nipples just got so hard. Look.
Which one?
Both of them. Y'all, look.
Oh, man.
I want you to see the consistency of those grits.
Oh, my God. They're perfect.
Is that not a flawless cheese grit, y'all? Deal with that. Now tell me after you make these that you don't like cheese grits, then I'll tell you that you should be on a liquid diet for the rest of your life and hooked up to an IV. Eating your food that way, because you just don't know food. You just don't know food. So I like to fill up when you do a plate. You do it real slow until it just kind of meets the edge, you see?
Yes.
Just absorb that for a second, okay?
Ooh.
Now, oh Jesus. I'm gonna go in here.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, it's not even fair I get to eat this. I'm bragging. Yes, I am bragging. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is, hold it still. Hold it nice and still.
Shrimp and grits.
Tell me about that.
How about that, y'all? Anybody hungry? Y'all want a bite? Here, you want to hold this plate?
Yes, I do.
Here, get that camera on you. We'll take a bite together, okay?
Hold on, I got too much.
Here, I'll hold that while you flip it. Oh my God, that smells so good.
Back on me. We're gonna try it. Oh, I got the best job. All right, here we go.
Wait, let me cool it. It's gonna need to cool off for a second.
Yes, please don't burn my
Here,
nails.
let me wait till it cools off just a second.
Constance and safe for our plane.
Why don't you tell them about the smells that you're experiencing right now?
Y'all, the lemon is like, just every once in a while you get a little lemon, but mostly it just smells like when you go to the fair and you pull up and it's like smoky, but then it kind of smells like breakfast at your grandma's house. It smells like thick and buttery, and you just know you're about to eat. My mouth is watery, it's filling up with saliva.
I'm building her a bite and blowing it off back here for her, y'all.
Puss, just eat it already.
Y'all, I'm not trying to have her burn her
Yeah,
taste buds so
please
she
don't
can't taste nothing else.
Don't burn my mouth.
Y'all don't mess with my wife's taste bud. You want to blow it? Make sure it's your temperature. Y'all look at that bite. Shrimp, cheese grits, it all stays on the fork. Hold on, look at that, y'all. Hold on. How is that? Tell me how the three flavors don't come together to make a perfect flavor like profile, right?
Oh, hold on, I got a whole week.
Or are you gonna cry? You look like you're about to
I'm
cry.
about to cry, it's so good.
You really do look like you're about to cry.
That was the best food I've ever tasted in my life.
I'm about to take a bite.
I'm gonna turn it on you, hold on. You know what I'm saying? It's like crunchy but creamy. Smoky but like fattening.
And it's like, it all comes together in the end when you get that sausage, and then the saltiness of the sausage releases into your mouth.
It's like surprises, like everybody. Yo!
Oh my God, y'all. I'm about to go dry hump this plate. This is so good.
Alright, y'all gotta make this.
We're done.
for real.
That's it.
You gotta
Cheese
make
grits,
this.
y'all. Shrimp and grits. I love y'all. Thank you,
We
thank
love
you, thank you,
y'all.
thank
Bye,
you so
Stephanie.
much.
Enjoy. Make it and take a picture.
Stephanie, this is for you, girl. Thank you for the idea. And if y'all have any ideas, let me know.
Okay.
Love y'all.
Have a good night. Bye.
Enjoy dinner.